Holidays at school are just one of my favorite parts about being an educator. It's so much fun, the energy is high. It's a wonderful opportunity to learn about different cultures and how people celebrate. But holidays bring with them their own scoop of insanity for the classroom, which is why I want to make sure you're feeling ready and all planned out for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. Today, I have my planner and I have an awesome project-based learning resource to share with you, along with some fun and easy extension activities you can do with your students. So grab your planner, your favorite set of pens, and plan with me for Thanksgiving. All right, we are ready to get planning with our Thanksgiving dinner PBL. I love these PBL activities that are connected to holidays. I think it's the perfect way to kind of capture student attention, keep the engagement really high, while also leaning into the fun of a holiday with a very academic focus. Now, if you guys have seen any of my other plan with me's, you know my first step is to always put in the things that I know are happening for sure. So here's my week of Thanksgiving. We only have school on Monday and Tuesday of this week. We get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with Thanksgiving being on Thursday. So that means I'm really just looking at this Monday and this Tuesday. So I am going to be using this PBL. I think a lot of times I'll do them in math just because they're very fine, like lots of math skills chalked in these guys, which is fantastic. I think I might mix this schedule up a little bit. I know we're finishing a unit on this Monday. So I know we're gonna have an assessment on this day, which means I cannot give this day to a PBL. That's something we have to knock out that day, which means I think we're gonna rock this PBL in reading and spelling and grammar, those morning blocks of my day, which is gonna be so much fun. My students are going to love it. I always think it's fun when students can like come in and jump right into a new and exciting task first thing in the morning during a time when it's already gonna be crazy because it's a holiday. So I'm gonna block that window of time out for this PBL. Now, there are so many ways you can use an activity like this. You can have it be independent work. You can have it be group work. You can have it be stations that students work on over a week. You can have it be activities students work on one day. That's the beauty of these. You can really make it look like whatever's gonna work best for you and your students. For me, I think that block of time is gonna be perfect. Now I'm gonna set my sticky up over here so I can kind of keep track of what I need. That way I can get my copies ready to go for this PBL the week of Thanksgiving. So within this PBL, when you get the resource, I love the fact that you're also given so many options. So I've already gone through and picked the option that I think it's gonna work best for my kids. They have a digital option, there is a print option, and then there's multiple versions of the activity itself. So you're gonna see, I've chosen the activity that is 6 family members, where you're working with a budget of $80. And then you're also gonna see on some of the resources that are used at each station, I have chosen the less challenging resources, which are better for 2nd and 3rd grade. Whereas there is also a more challenging option, which is great for 4th and 5th grade. So just something to think about as I'm showing what I'm gonna be using. If it looks too easy for your kids, it's because I chose the less challenging option. We have one that's perfect for 4th and 5th grade students as well. So this page is kind of the starting page my students are going to need. So they're going to need, how many times am I gonna write the word Thanksgiving today? That's the big question. The Thanksgiving dinner page. And I'm gonna use this as kind of the front cover of their packet that they're gonna be working on over this window of time in our classroom. So that is their starting point. And the fun part here is what they're doing is they're designing a meal for their family members in the Mayflower family. And everybody likes certain things. Everyone is very specific. It's really fun because that's so true when we think about our own families. So I'm gonna make sure everybody gets the food likes and dislikes. There is an option that doesn't include any likes and dislikes. So if that feels like it would be too challenging for your kids, they don't necessarily have to do the likes and dislikes. And then we get into the activity. So students are going to be planning this meal for what their family members want to eat, and they're going to have to be doing a lot of calculations. See what I mean about how it brings that math piece in with that project-based learning? So here is, I actually have this one too. So the prices of things, I'm going to actually laminate these two guys, print them in color, laminate them. That way I can use them next year. I'm gonna make myself a little laminate list. That way students can grab these and work with them, and then I can save them. Laminate, food, prices, and it's 2 pages. Perfect, gotta save that color ink, so I'll print them in color, laminate them, and then students will use this resource while they are planning for family meals. So what this is gonna look like, this is where that food likes and dislikes comes back in, along with those pricing pages. So they're gonna have to look at what mom likes. Mom loves pumpkin spice lattes and green bean casserole. So we gotta make sure that mom is getting a pumpkin spice latte and green bean casserole. But then mom can't just eat a meal of only a pumpkin spice latte and a green bean casserole. So they're going to have to pick the other dishes that mom is gonna be eating at Thanksgiving, and then they're gonna fill in their choices, fill in their prices, and then calculate the total cost of mom's meal. Now remember, they're doing all of this with the assumption that they only have $80 to spend. I love this. Anytime you get to bring money in, I think it's so great. Even if money is not a standard for your grade level, it is awesome when you can tie in money, because what is more real world than the money you're spending on a meal? So this is where they're really going to dive into this activity. After they have done the math for everyone's meal, they are then going to do some reflecting. They're gonna go through, tell me the total for everyone's meal. They're gonna find the total cost of their Thanksgiving dinner, and then they're gonna think, did I stay under budget? And if they could do something differently next time, what would they do? This is such a fun activity for students, and they are going to love it. So I need to make sure that my students have the dinner planner and the reflection page. I love a page like this where they have to kind of look back, think about the work that they did, because that's where they're really growing in their problem-solving skills. So I love this. It's gonna be so much fun, and my students are gonna have a blast planning for Thanksgiving dinner. All right, I know this is gonna be such a fun activity. My students are going to love it. Get these guys tucked under here. I'm gonna be able to get those copies done really early, and I'm gonna give myself a little more information here just so I know what I'm gonna be doing. Now, I know what you're saying. You gave yourself a lot of time for this, and that's because I wanna do a few more extension activities. I think I'm actually gonna start this PBL with a read aloud. I wanna read this year. It's called Thanksgiving in the Woods. It's by Phyllis Alsdorf. And I'll have it up on the screen for you so you can see my text of choice. If you're looking for other suggestions of great, respectful, culturally relevant Thanksgiving read-alouds, check out this video as well. This is another awesome place to look at some of my favorite suggestions. But this year, I'm gonna be reading Thanksgiving in the Woods. It's about a community that comes together. Everyone brings their favorite dishes to Thanksgiving. I'm gonna use that to kind of introduce the activity, because you know, if I can use a read aloud, I'm gonna use a read aloud. And then they're gonna have time, work time. And then I have a really fun kind of crafty extension that I want to try this year, just because by the end of this Tuesday, or even by the 8 a.m. of this Tuesday, before this nice long break, students are going to be acting like students before a 5-day weekend. You know exactly what I mean by that. So I want to have another activity that they can roll to if they finish this early. That's just gonna be fun and a great extension of the PBL. So I call it Decorate a Plate.
And what I do is I just give my students a large white dinner plate, like the disposable kinds, like break out the Chinette here. And I let them illustrate one of the meals that they planned on the plate. It's so much fun. I give them Sharpies, markers. I've had students in the past make beautiful collages where they're creating their meals out of construction paper and then gluing the pieces down. But Decorate a Plate is such a fun extension that's going to tie into this. It's a great early finisher. So they could pick Mom's plate, they could pick Caleb's plate from this activity, and they're going to decorate an actual paper plate to reflect the choices they made in this project-based learning activity.
Now that we have it all planned out, I'm feeling really good about getting my students into the Thanksgiving spirit, and I hope you are too. If you're looking for our Thanksgiving PBL, so your students can also plan the perfect Thanksgiving dinner, make sure you check it out. It's going to be linked up in the cards and down in the description box for you. Thank you guys so much for planning with me today. These are so much fun for me to do because I'm going to be planning whether I'm filming it for you or not. If you want to see any of my other Plan With Me content, make sure you check out this playlist. Or if there's something in particular you want to plan with me, let me know down in the comments. I would love to get that on our filming schedule. If you aren't already, please hit that subscribe button. We put out new content here every single week, and we'd love to have you join us here on YouTube. Last but not least, we are so thankful for you and this community of amazing educators that we get to be a part of. And we hope you have a not so wimpy day. Bye.